When I was thinking about my presentation, I remembered my presentation from 2 years ago. I discussed 5G. The prospects were quite bleak back then. We were wondering whether it would be possible to implement 5G. And I'm wondering whether we are not in a similar situation when it comes to IoT. But I would say that actually our situation when it comes to IoT is better. IoT is a technology that doesn't seem threatening. It has better social acceptance. 4 days ago, the Ministry of Digitization published a report on the act, a project of the Act of Law on Telecommunication. I would like to thank the representatives of the ministry for the works on implementing the directive. The telecommunications code does away with some of those elements that were quite strange, that hampered the development of the IoT. An operator, a telco operator, you may believe it or not, was obliged to sign a normal contract for the provision of services. And of course, if we talk about contracts for 10,000 or more of clients, this didn't make any sense. Another thing, the new ICT Act of Law qualifies the Internet of Things technology in a new way. I'm a lawyer, so just forgive me for concentrating on legal things, on legal matters. IoT is not a service pertaining to telecommunications. IoT is just a service like Spotify, hosting, or online gaming. Right now, IoT is regulated by the telecommunications law. Why is it so? Transmission constitutes about 11% of a service fee when it comes to IoT. Telecom entrepreneurs should remember that the IoT service, as it's delivered by telco companies, should be perceived as a service for information society. When it comes to transmission, when it comes to transfer, this is a classical telecommunication service. And a telco company, when it provides this kind of service, shouldn't treat it as a classic telecommunication service. Because then it will be regulated by the telecommunication code. I also mentioned OTT services. You must remember the discussion around businesses and service providers. The one side said that they are over-regulated, the other side said that the sector is not regulated. And the problem was solved by the telecommunications code, but nobody is happy with the outcome. Services were not liberalized, on the one hand. On the other hand, Skype, Messenger, and that kind of services fall within the remit of the new regulation. The aim of supporting innovation is not well served by the new regulation. So the whole story behind the OTT services shows us that we shouldn't try to, in a way, differentiate between real services. Some companies said that they lose income by let's say, in telecommunications, by providing IT services. So I wouldn't like to see that the telco businesses will not find it worthwhile providing telecom services. And telecom businesses will be required to expand their network that could be used by OTT service providers later on. A group or a team that I led when we worked on IoT produced a report. The report showed that telco businesses have different access to data than other businesses. Telco businesses, for example, are limited when it comes to data use, when it comes to data on location, when it comes to data for statistical use. In the economy based on data, telco businesses could be, in a way, underprivileged. And we need to remember that the European Commission is thinking about a next proposal on data. A group of experts presented their initial report showing how public entities can use data managed by telco businesses for public purposes, for public use. The solutions proposed were using data for free, using data at a small fee, or using this data at a market price. But this is something that we would like to see, but very likely we are not going to have it this way. We had a similar case in Poland. You must know the case connected with data on viewership that were to be reported to the National Council on Radio and TV Broadcasting. We need to remember that on the one hand, we can provide data, on the other hand, we can use and benefit from data, but the report shows that we are limited by regulation. We cannot transfer data in each and every possible case. So we should, let's say, rethink our stance on that, thinking about possible new regulation.